Drop the roof and let the smoke clear. I got diamonds doing tootsie slides in both ears. Dice rolling on the Las Vegas strip tonight. Slip that on and we might miss the fight. Fuck a night, I keep the guala in my shorty bag. You know she one of mine when she tattooed that ass. I'm a lover boy, she love the toys. Keep it coming, you a rider. This that roll myself a J and count my figure shit. This that stepping out, I feel like I'm that nigga shit. I drop 30 on this room, we ain't gon' sleep this shit.
You just gotta keep living, man. Livin. That was a movie quote from Dazed and Confused. It was one of Matthew McConaughey's very first movies that made him famous. And that idea has resonated with me over the years, especially since I read his memoir, Green Lights, which I highly recommend, by the way. And the idea of that is that no matter what you're going through your life, the best thing you could do is just take it in stride and try to keep going through whatever it is. If it's something that you're struggling through, if it's something that you're enjoying, that's all part of life. And it's this idea of living that, you know, you should never try to take things too seriously. Obviously, there are some serious things in your life, but you know, you should really focus on doing things for the fun of it, doing it to enjoy it, and also doing things just for the experience, just to push your boundaries, to explore new areas of life, whether that's trying a new restaurant, meeting new types of people, going to a different place that's a big culture shift from where you're from. Those types of things can really make sure that you have a more holistic perspective on the world versus just getting bogged down in your day-to-day habits and you're just doing the same thing all the time, like Groundhog Day. You should really focus on trying to be as well-versed as you can be. And then once you've done that, if you have things that you particularly like, then you should definitely go stick with that. But you should at least give yourself the opportunity to try new types of things and really explore, because you never know. You might find something that you really enjoy doing, or you might meet a certain type of person that you never would have expected to meet or be there if you had not taken that risk. So if you haven't read Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Lights, it's a memoir about his personal life before he was an actor and then his private life with his family. I highly recommend it. I think you'd really appreciate it. And if there are any other book recommendations you have, feel free to send it to me. Drop them in the comments. I'm always trying to read something new or to try to find some new type of concepts. So I'm always all ears.
it. Then I saw a pretty little face standing right by the exit. I said it's funny that you here, cause I know this really ain't your thing.
I had to do some late night shopping tonight because I have a busy weekend. Tomorrow I'm going to a winter beer fest with some friends on Lincoln Park. And then Sunday I'm helping my aunt out with a school event. She is really big into crafting, journaling, scrapbooking, anything creatively oriented, that's her jam. So she is hosting an event at a school to sell some of her products that she makes. So I'm helping her out with that. I figured it'd be a good opportunity for me to show you guys what my grocery haul looks like. It's anything crazy or drastic, you know, the usual stuff. I got eggs, milk, mixed veggies, like, you know, sausage, chicken, pork chops. Also, I'm a big fan of sweet potatoes, and probably the most interesting thing, I actually put it over here, macadamia nuts. Highly underrated nut, especially if you are going throughout your day and you just want a quick snack. Really enjoy having some of these. I'm a busy person, so I'm constantly going from work to going to the gym to doing shoots to whatever else I'm working on. So it's helpful to have meals that I can put together, have all the nutrients I need without needing to think too hard or make something so complicated. Probably one of my favorite things in here though, ground bison. I usually will cook this in a pan. I'll chop up some peppers, throw that in there, and then I'm able to make the sweet potatoes to go along with it and some mixed veggies. One of my favorite weeknight meals. And for dinner tonight, because I didn't have anything left in my house, so I had to do this, I actually got some Wingstop. Question of the day, are you a bone-in or a boneless wing eater? Put your answer down in the comments below. I'm really curious what you guys think. I chose the third option. I got chicken tenders for tonight. I have that in the bag, gonna enjoy that, probably watch some sports, and call it an easy night. So this way I can wake up nice and fresh. Tomorrow's a calisthenics day. Every Saturday, I usually will do strictly bodyweight exercises. That's pull-ups, push-ups, dips, and then I've been working with my parallettes recently to focus on more like pike push-ups, tuck holds, L-sits, more advanced calisthenics motions. So I'm about to put this away, enjoy my Wingstop, and I will catch you guys tomorrow.
We were going to Utopia.
And they scared of the 7. After 1-3, then we turn up 11. Keep the shit open like 7-Eleven. We at the house, I got 7 to heaven. They think I'm satanic, I keep me a rebel. The shorty a therapist, Papa is here. She ushered my way, then she started confessing. I know it's at stake, I'm screaming free Jeffrey. Cannot collect calls right off of the celly. Gave her the blues, not talking about belly. Don't keep it sincere, I go Machiavelli. I got the juice now, it's heavy. Always on tea time, been ready. Popping the cheese, wrap around me cause I'm got property. Chocolate MP and chocolate the bees. Got the Willy Wonka factory. Burn an athlete like his calories.
Reading has always been a big part of my life, even when I was a kid. When I was in elementary school, instead of listening to music on the drive, I would read out loud and my dad would listen. It was a great way for me to practice my spelling, practice my ability to speak out loud. And it also made sure that I was learning, even on the way to school, instead of just listening to music where you'd forget about it within 30 seconds. In middle school, that was when I got into reading a little more fictions. I also got into reading some sci-fi stuff. One of the best books of my middle school years was The Hunger Games, which is what my aunt recommended to me, and it was such a great book to read at the time. And then during high school, I remember I read a lot more sports psychology and mindset building books. During that time, I was in my basketball season and I was leading my high school basketball team, which comes with a lot of pressure and a lot of responsibility. And I felt like those books helped me a lot, just to be able to manage that particular role and also to come to terms with what it means to be a leader of a team. And it's a lot more responsibility than just being a player on the team. During my college years, I read a lot of psychology and philosophy-based books. Over the years, I've read a lot on Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca. Those are the big three, but plenty of other books. I read a lot from Ryan Holiday, who's a lot more recent, but still in the Stoicism space. I have my bookcase actually right over there. I've also read a lot of books on certain scientific studies, like the marshmallow study, the Stanford prison experiment. I think those are all great ways to learn about human behavior. I've also read a couple books on body language, which has helped me a lot. One thing I will say, if you read books on body language, is once you read and you learn on them, you can't unlearn them. So just be warned that if you do pick up on certain things, you'll see them more often in your day-to-day life. Now I'm actually rereading a book by Mark Manson. It's one of his most famous books. It's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And a lot of the premise of the book is that, we care so much about things that really don't matter. And it's important to remember what's really important to you. And before I was talking about relationships, which is always something that it's always important, like your friendships, your family relationships, those are the things that should always stay top of mind versus the other things that can distract you in your life, like social media, your job, whatever the newest news article is of the week. Those are things that they don't really affect you in your day-to-day life, and your friends and family relationships, those are the ones that are really important. Another reason why I like rereading certain books is because you never step into the same river twice. And what that means is every time you read a book, you're reading it from your perspective in that moment in time. But let's say you read the same exact book, but 1 to 2 years later, when you're in a slightly different phase of your life, you might get a very different lesson out of the book. And I think that's beautiful because you never know what you're going to take from something from your current perspective. And you might have read a book 2 years ago that didn't really resonate with you, but then you read the same book a couple years later and it speaks so much more volumes to you. So that's why I recommend rereading books, especially if you feel like it was a great book at the time. There's no reason why you can't reread a book. No different than when you rewatch a TV show or you rewatch a movie. You liked it the first time, so why not watch it again or read it again or listen to it again? There's nothing wrong with that, especially if it's really good quality content. This is my favorite thing to do in the morning, is just getting some reading in. It's my commitment to learning, as I like to say, and it really helps me set the tone for the day and also make sure that I'm constantly learning something new and have something to talk about. When someone asks me what my favorite book is or what I'm currently reading, I always have a good answer. And the past few years, I've tried to read 26 books at least. Last year, I believe I did 37. 2022, I did 28. This year, unfortunately, I won't be hitting that goal. I'm going to come a little short, probably like 23 on the year. But that's okay, Just being directionally correct is fine for me. And as long as I'm staying with the constant habit of reading, I'm happy about that. And whatever number I get to at the end of the year, it is what it is. So I'm about to get into these reads, finish my hydration. I drink my Element. This is one of my favorite morning drinks. It's an electrolyte mixture that has a lot of great nutrients that you need, especially early in the morning. If you're sweating a lot or if you just struggle with cramps or other issues, these things can really help a lot because they make sure that you have the right electrolytes in your system as you're going throughout your day. So hydration, reads, this is how I start my day. Now we're going to get into the next part. Let's do it.
She said you got that right, and I call will arrive in 15. She said it's 12:35, but she still got